One man has made all the difference with Trabuco Hills' success on the football field. Coach Mark Nolan is leading a new winning era when it comes to Mustang football. Today, Coach Nolan joins me on the sidelines for an insightful conversation. Plus, I'll talk with the energetic and talented Henry Sturn. He's an anchor on the D-line. Senior quarterback Will Burns is a leader on offense, and what a year he's already having. He's fast, but today he slows down to hang with me. This is Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Higgins, and all the action starts right now. Coach, it's a great day to be a Mustang, right?
Always a great day to be a Mustang.
And I asked you that because you and I were just talking about it. You've had a plethora of teams that you have coached in 3 or 4 different states now?
4 states.
4 states.
Yeah.
You played high school ball, quarterback.
Yeah.
And you played high school ball on the defensive side, cornerback, defensive back.
Yep.
And you said that was a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Has the game changed? Someone told me the other day it hasn't changed, but has it changed?
In regards to tackling and blocking, the game hasn't changed. In regards to some of the safety things that have occurred in the last 10 years, it's changed fundamentally. You have a strike zone that you need to hit. You need to make sure that you stay off the head. We make sure we're not going head to head, helmet to helmet. A number of rule changes have occurred for player safety, and we see the benefits of that. Concussion numbers have gone down. The game has changed fundamentally because student athletes are now training in the weight room, regardless of playing 1, 2, or 3 sports. They're trained in the weight room. You know, some people did back in the 70s and 80s, but not everybody. Everybody's training in the weight room now. So there's some basic changes, and then there's some other things. It's still football.
Yeah.
You know, our grandpas that played, it's still football, blocking, tackling, and the fundamentals. So it's a great game. And in this regard, one of the things that we all love about the game is you get to go out, you get to compete, you get to have fun with your buddies, your classmates, and it doesn't matter where you're from.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you look like, you get to go out and have fun and compete and play this game.
I can tell you're enthusiastic about football.
Absolutely.
And you just told me you've got a milestone birthday. We don't have to mention what it is, but you obviously enjoy this game of football. We've got a freshman game going on behind us. If this freshman game, if you weren't doing this interview, would you be watching the game or would you be up getting ready for Friday night?
I would be plopped down in the nearest end zone to the action and watching, evaluating our upcoming talent, watching our play calls, enjoying the players and them having fun playing. And then I get to high five them tomorrow at school and tell them great job. When they get back in the weight room, back in the lab of so to speak, then I get to go tell them, hey, great job here, great job there, and I just enjoy the game, and this is our future. So yeah, I'm every Thursday. For our pregame, I intentionally schedule it so that we can go watch our future teammates and our future teams and our future athletes play.
It's got to mean a great deal to them, the freshmen, that the next day you see them in the hallway and you high-five them. That's the varsity coach giving me a high five. He's recognized what I've done. That's got to inspire them. Did that happen to you when you were playing? Did you get that philosophy early on? Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I think for all of us as young coaches, we go into coaching with a sense or an altruistic belief that we want to give back the things that we were given by our mentors, our coaches, and for the most part, if we're able to ascertain the good parts from the bad parts and let go of some of the parts that we didn't like or appreciate, and carry forward with the great parts, the coaches and the mentors that loved on us and coached us hard and put their arms around us afterwards. If we're able to do that as young coaches and kind of moving forward, then that's the start of a great coaching career. And great coaching is being able to coach a kid hard, get them to overachieve, get them to reach their potential, and certainly that's something that is near and dear to my coaching philosophy. And I always feel like a little bit of sugar is better than a little bit of salt or a little bit of vinegar. And the reality is, we play football. We get to play football, and we say we're playing the game. We typically don't say I'm working football. And so we want to have fun doing it, and you do that with positivity and a culture of positivity, and you do that with enthusiasm and having fun playing the game. And yes, I'm turning 50 this year.
You
and
said
yes, yes, it's my 28th year of coaching in 4 different states and 3 different universities during that time. However, kids keep us young. You know, I've got 3 of my own, and my wife and I have a house where we've helped raise 8 other people's kids, and the reality is hundreds of other people's kids through sports and school.
I have to ask you, we're about 40 yards away from the coach's box. When you're there on a Friday night, how do you manage the game? Because I was up by your coaches the other night, up in the press box, and I was listening to them, and I'm watching you on the sidelines. How do you manage the coaches in the game in today's game? You mentioned it, some things have changed, obviously. What is your philosophy as the head coach? Are you calling plays? Is someone else calling plays? I probably answered that question myself because I heard them calling plays up there, but it goes through you, I assume?
I repeat the call from upstairs on offense, and our signalers signal it. Then we have a defensive coordinator who's calling the plays. Then in addition to that, I'm the special teams coordinator. I do feel like I would be way too detached and bored if I wasn't coordinating one of the 3 phases. Being a general manager and being a head coach and not having a group or coordinating something, that may perhaps be another level, you know, and this is high school, and me personally, I would feel detached. So I'm currently a special teams coordinator. Previously here, I was the play caller for offense. We had a number of things happen with our staff, and it was time for me to step into another role. And I've always felt like I'm going to coach where needed and hire the best people and people that are better and smarter than I and turn them loose. And then on top of that coaching philosophy, I also want to make sure that I empower our coaches, position coach, coordinators, to be the head coach of what they're doing and be their best. And then I'm going to support them in what they're doing. And if need be, I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the disciplinarian, and I'll take care of that, you know, kind of stuff. And it usually comes for the student athlete from a place of love, and they understand it with the accountability and discipline if the head coach is doing that. You know, maybe sometimes more than just another coach doing that. So we kind of tango, we kind of Texas two-step, we kind of dance together, play off one another like a team, like a staff, right? We're coaching off one another's strengths and weaknesses. So just making it work. You
are making things work because you're off to a great start this preseason, and I know we're catching you early. How do you take preseason? How do you consider evaluation, and how you get ready for league?
Yeah, that's a great question. You want to learn great lessons whether you win or whether you lose, and sometimes for the teenagers, sometimes they have to fail, but we want to fail forward. We want to learn from it. We want to get better. Film every day of practice is an important part of that learning process for us. So we want to film it. We want to learn from it. Get in the classroom before practice and watch yesterday's practice. Look at that tape. We want to watch opponent film. We want to be very prepared for all those situations, all those scenarios that come up. We have a very good staff in this regard that we're low ego and we're high output, and we want to make sure that we're working together at a degree where nobody is offended or feels like their toes are getting stepped on when we knock over all the possible stones to make sure that we're prepared for those situations, prepared for those scenarios. Generally, coaches are like, hey, that's a good idea. Hey, what about, you know, as we kind of move forward. So great group of coaches. I firmly believe that a great staff is going to have a lot of different people with different day jobs. So we have a current fire captain, we have an EMT. I love having first responders, and we have a Marine who's a former Marine, but they never consider themselves former. He's a Marine. So we have all these different guys, and then we have a bunch of teacher coaches. We have 3 teacher coaches at the freshman level out of the 5, and then there's 4 of us at the varsity level that are teacher coaches and on campus. And one of those guys is at a local middle school.
That is awesome.
So we have a bunch of people who really just want to serve and give back and love on these kids.
And you and I were talking about your offense and your defense. You had got me a couple of players I'm going to talk to today.
Yes.
Tell me about your offense and what you're most proud of so far in your offense. You're led by a very solid quarterback in Will Burns.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tremendous talent at quarterback, tremendous arm talent, foot talent. He's quick enough to run the spread offense. He's fast enough to run on our track team during his baseball season last year and put up really good sprint times. Then he's got the big arms. So the guy's committed to go play shortstop at Texas Tech and play quarterback at Texas Tech, which required collaboration and communication between both programs at Texas Tech to the degree they're like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it to get him for 6 months because he has that kind of big-time talent in both those sports to be able to learn and figure stuff out. So on top of that, he has a 4.2 GPA, and then on top of that, the bloodlines. I mean, which I know you're going to talk about with his dad and being a local guy and being a guy who's just a tremendous young man and just high character. So our offense is air raid.
Yeah.
So we're gonna throw it around and we're gonna have fun doing stuff with your outside screen game, your down the field pass game, the intermediate pass game, the quick game, and then we wrinkle into that the two-back run game. So we do a lot of the air raid stuff out of 12 personnel and just have fun doing it. And we put up really good numbers. We have a goal board that is transcends just a player or a year, and on that goal board it's like have at least one touchdown pass a week. And what we say, even though the goal board says only one, what we say in our meetings is let's get 3.
Yes.
Because we recognize who we have and what the talent that we have and what we're working with. So we're like, hey, even though it says 1, we want to get 3 this week,
Well, what about on the other side? Henry Sturn, obviously great defensive lineman.
Yes.
Quick off the ball. It seems like he's really smart and knows where to go.
Yeah.
I ISO'd some stuff on him the other night, and I just met him. Seems like a great kid.
Yes. So his older brother played for us in the program. Henry was on varsity as a freshman after his freshman season and was ready to play either O-line or D-line come playoff time as we were kind of getting a little shy on big guys, right? So fast forward, he's a 3-year starter now. And Henry Sturn is like Will Burns in this regard. Henry Sturn also wrestles.
Yeah.
And he was one hamstring pull away from last year. He didn't get to wrestle in the finals. Otherwise, he was going to win that finals.
Wow.
He had already smoked the guy he was going to face in the finals when he wrestled the guy the 2 previous times during the regular season. So if he just stays healthy, he's a CIF championship wrestler. And he likes to wrestle the big guys.
Yeah.
So even though he's 215, 220 during the wrestling season, right now he's about 230, 235. He wrestles the heavyweights. He's going against 300-pounders, 285-pound guys. And he loves to go against them because he's just so wiggly and creative. And I'm kind of doing some gestures because under his shoulder pads he wears Captain of Chaos as a shirt, but we call him the creator of chaos.
Oh, geez.
Because he's just a one-man wrecking crew up front and has the personality to kind of go with it.
He does.
And so you got Henry Sturn, football and wrestling, and then you have Will Burns, who did football and baseball, but then ran track almost like a Deion Sanders as a hobby during his baseball season.
Great kids. And Coach, I know you didn't see it, but you guys just scored.
Oh, sweet.
So you have the lead. So you'll be high-fiving somebody tomorrow.
Yes.
I really want to thank you, and I want to thank Jeff Peace for putting this together. He
Westy
reached out.
Peace, the best.
Yeah, I covered him in high school and at USC. Just a great guy and a great athlete. So thank you, Jeff. Coach, you're right. He is a really good guy. Coach, thank you for doing this.
Good
luck to you, and I hope to catch up with you towards the end of the season.
Sounds great.
All right.
Yeah.
Coach Nolan talked about it. Henry Sturn is the real deal. And along with that, he's a great young man. And he's next, right here on Coach's Corner. We'll be right back. Henry, I have to say that I already like you because you wrestle. And I have a wrestling background. My son's in wrestling. How much has wrestling influenced what you do out here on the football field?
I would say it gratefully influenced my football performance by far. Definitely like getting low and like controlling the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Coach says that you have a lot of good moves. when you're out there on the football field. Tell me, is that natural, or is that something learned, or is that something that you saw somebody else do and you go, okay, I can move this way or that way? Because I know you're doing a lot of different ways to get to people.
I would say it's a little bit of trial and error. You try different things, you see what works.
Yeah.
So I think over like from pop to now, I've definitely like developed like a understanding of the best thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tell me about when you're on the defensive line and quarterback comes out, whether it's a shotgun or he's under the center, or if it's a hurry-up offense. Bring me through that. Here we are on the sidelines. I'm normally covering you guys. I'm not out there. I don't know what the heck you guys are doing. Tell me what that mindset is, and as you tick down to the snap.
It's more of like pre-snap. I'm just tense, like ready to spring out, like explode. Because I know if I hit the O lineman first, I'll win.
Okay.
Every time, So and most of it's reaction. Like I just know I'm gonna shoot the gap as fast as I can, and then I'll just react based off of that.
Okay.
The ball carrier.
If there's 10 plays, how many of them do you know what's coming, and how many do you not know what's coming? Is there a time where you're like, I know what's coming? You know what I mean? Like
for the offense?
Yeah, if it's a run or a pass, or if
Sometimes I'll pick up little things like if they always there's always a tight end, or the O lineman kind of make like a little call or something. I kind of know like, I'm about to get double teamed, or they're gonna run it, or he's gonna pull. Like they'll be leaning back a little bit.
Okay.
Stuff like that, little stuff like that. Yeah.
Let me take you back to your home opener, right outside. No, actually, it was behind us that you guys ran in through the tunnel. What is that feeling like on a Friday night? You mentioned it. You mentioned Pop Warner. When you're a kid, that's a rush, right? Parents are there. It might be a hot Saturday afternoon. Maybe it was here on this field. But on a Friday night in high school, there's a great crowd. The band's here, which you guys got a great band, by the way. You had a great pep team, the cheer and the song. What's that for you? Are you jacked up, or are you maintaining the excitement?
I would say it's a little bit of both. Like I do think like when I get a sack or a nice tackle or a hit or whatever, like it definitely does help hearing the crowd. But at the same time, like when we went against Catella, it was almost nice having no one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. It was like less pressure, like we're here to play.
Yeah. Does Coach ever talk about humility, just being
all the time? Yeah.
Tell me about that. I'm curious.
Coach Nolan's a great leader and role model for the team, I would say. Like a lot of people come into the team and they're all snobby or weird, and then Coach Nolan will humble them. Because he's like, what are you talking about? We're a team. Yeah. Like, be quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I could tell by watching you that you're a humble athlete. That's why I asked you that question. It was really exciting for me to see you make plays, and you made a lot of plays. And then obviously in the second half, if you guys have the lead, you're going to get other guys in there. When those other guys come in there, what are you doing on the sidelines?
I'm yelling.
Okay.
I'm yelling their names and telling them to stay low and to fire out most of the time. Yeah.
So if you were to pick an offensive position, I just interviewed a guy by the name of Shane Moline, who was Will Burns' dad, played with him, and he was one of the best running backs ever at Mission Viejo High School. And he's about your size. He played fullback and running back, actually, went on to UCLA and played running back. He's your frame. Do you ever see you as a running back?
I mean, I know if I were to play at a college, I would definitely be probably at a different position because of my size.
Yeah.
So I've already thought about stuff like that. I haven't really thought about offense necessarily. I mean, I did play fullback for one play.
Okay.
And it was good.
Yeah.
And I know I could do that, or I could maybe, I don't know. I got some good hands.
Yeah.
But I don't know about running back, though. I don't know if I have the gas tank for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's being honest, right?
But
because you're 230 right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's what Shane was when he was in high school, about 230. So why this game? Why do you like this game of football? You play, you wrestle, and you mentioned Pop Warner as we discussed, but why do you play this?
Well, I feel like when I first started, when I was like a young boy, like playing flag or whatever, I definitely just liked it because like talent and I'm good at it and like the satisfaction of winning.
Yeah.
But as I got older and I got like in varsity, I realized like it's more of like a brotherhood, and like because even when I was a freshman, like I still hang out with the seniors that were already graduated,
Right.
and it's like they're like 20 now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, you definitely get like a brotherhood for life type of thing.
That's awesome. And your thoughts about football players playing in pain? I know it's early in the year, but do you find yourself playing in pain?
Oh,
and
yeah.
if so, how do you get over that?
Well, a lot, not just me, but a lot, I think every kid across the country right now is probably playing in pain. But definitely, like becoming aware of like how your body works and its needs is very important. Like assessing, like my hips were kind of messed up, so I did like some release and like stretching and like working on like targeting that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And like my knee, you know what I mean?
So you're conscious of it?
Yeah, very, because I knew coming in, like all the seniors are zombies.
Right.
So I'm like, especially for wrestling, like I have two, like it's not going to be over.
No.
You know what I mean? So
No, you got till like February, March.
yeah, so I'm going to have to really be conscious of like my joints and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I can't afford an injury.
One additional question before I let you go. You got a tough league. Who is the target team in this league?
I mean, of course I would say all of them.
Yeah.
I would say all of them, but shoot.
Is there one that you circle?
I mean, I would just say rival schools like El Toro.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, El Toro.
And
right,
you play
right
them
down
here.
there.
You play them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, we'll be on it. We'll be on it. Those home rival games for sure.
Well, we'll leave it at that. And if this is your home stadium. This is a good guy. This is your home stadium. You play El Toro, the last league game of the year, right here. They're going to be on the visitors, and you'll be here.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, brother.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for having me out here. This is great.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
I love
Thank you,
this guy.
guys.
What a good guy.
Such a fun interview with Henry. Well, on the other side of the ball is quarterback Will Burns, a three-sport star with an excellent future ahead of him. My conversation with Will is up next, right here on Coach's Corner.
Will, I was joking when I just said that you're faster than your dad. Are you faster than your dad at this time in your life?
I probably got him in 100, but maybe not a 20-yard dash.
Yeah.
I think maybe on the 40 point we'd like even out. 'Cause he was shorter, he's 5'9".
Yeah, he was fast though, and I was
Yeah,
really
really fast.
surprised the other night when I saw you take off and you ran for a touchdown, and I'm like, it looks easy. Does speed come easy to you, or is it?
Yeah. My mom was a decathlete or heptathlete in college, and my dad played running back. So I guess that's the natural side of it.
Yeah.
It comes pretty easy.
So why quarterback with you? Why did you want to play quarterback? And tell me how much fun you're having at that position.
I didn't start playing quarterback until maybe like 4 years ago, a couple years before high school, and it was just because I had some arm talent. I played baseball, and we just thought I'd be wasting it if I didn't try it out. And once I started playing it, I found that I was really good at it.
Yeah. So you're doing football, baseball still,
Yes.
and you're doing track.
Yeah, a little bit track.
Yeah, because I heard that you've got some good speed out there. Obviously, we talked about that, and I saw it. Your thoughts about this Mustang team? You're off to a great start. It looks like you guys have complete control of the offense. You put up a lot of points your second game of the year, and it seems like you're kind of rolling early on. Tell me about that.
So since last year, we've lost all of our O-linemen. They were all seniors, and then we lost our running back Drew Barrett, which is probably one of the best running backs I've ever played with. But our whole receiving core basically is coming back, and also we have a pretty good set of new young linemen and some new young running backs that are going to fill that spot pretty well.
throwing the ball a lot.
So yeah, we'll start throwing it more.
Yeah, and you like throwing the ball, obviously.
Yes.
Tell me about you rolling out of the pocket and getting loose, because you have a tendency to do that. You have no problem throwing the ball on the run.
Yeah, it just gives me, I feel like it gives me extra time. If I can make all the throws that I can make in the pocket on the run, then I just get that much extra time to look down the field if I'm running.
Yeah. So when I started my career, people always thought that I was tall because I always sat down. So now I've given it away that I'm not tall. But what, you're 6'3", 6'4"?
6'2".
6'2".
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm shrinking then. Are you still growing?
I don't think so.
Okay, so with your physique, what do you want to work on in this year and then going on to college? Great arm strength, great speed. What is it that you want to do?
Well, you complimented my ability to scramble, but the thing I need to work on is not scrambling and being more comfortable in the pocket and trusting my linemen more.
Okay, so how do you do that? Do you do that in practice, or is that something you start to train yourself in games, especially as you get ready for your league season?
I would say both. Definitely more, it's better training in the games because in practice I don't even get hit.
Yeah.
But just staying in there and feeling the defensive lineman get close to me and still making the throws and not panicking and scrambling out in the games is a lot better training.
Yeah. So I'm up there in the press box on top, shooting your game, and I'm just a couple feet away from your coaches calling the play.
Right.
And it sounds obviously like a different language.
Yeah.
You're a smart kid in the classroom. How hard is it to get that verbiage up there, down to the sidelines, and then you get it on the field? We see that in college and the NFL, but
Right.
It seems like it's really picked up its game in high school as well.
Yeah, definitely the strategies of people in the NFL, it all trickles down eventually. So I wouldn't say it's very hard. It's just memorizing certain signals, and then if you don't know what it is, the person next to you will tell you, and we all kind of talk to each other out there. So if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, they'll just ask somebody else.
So if I'm the coach and I call down a play and you change that play on me, what's that discussion like? If you happen to change it or misconstrued what that conversation should have been through the headset?
I won't tell the coaches. I'll just do it on my own. I'll just yell to the players, make sure they all know, and then I'll just wait to get yelled at the next day by the coaches.
Instinctively, and we don't have to really tell the truth here, is there times when you want to do that and times where you're like, okay, the coach knows what he's talking about?
Not as much. More, my coaches, they're really good, but they're not perfect, and sometimes they'll call something to the wrong side, like the right or left, and I'll know because the formation is wrong, and that's when I'll switch it. But I usually trust what they're doing.
Yeah.
They get a lot of points for this.
Tell me how fun this is. I asked Henry, being on a Friday night, coming out, running out on the field, the band's here, the cheerleaders are here, your parents are here, and the atmosphere is electric. What is that feeling like for you? I never got to experience that because I didn't play high school football, but I can only imagine what it would feel like. For you, what does it feel like?
I don't really pay attention to much except for actually my individual self, but after the game I can kind of sit back and be like, wow, that was really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking in the crowd during the games or anything like that.
You kind of answered my next question, what I was going to ask you. You don't seem like the rah-rah guy. You seem like you have humility. When you score a touchdown, you don't go crazy. You act like you've been in the end zone before.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from? Is it because your parents are athletes?
Yeah, maybe. I have older brothers, maybe being in a hectic household.
There we go. Mustangs number 2 just scored. I think they're up by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Do you know who number 2 is?
I don't.
Okay. Congratulations, number 2. But we're talking about humility and, not going too crazy.
Yeah, being in a hectic household, I usually like to stay calm. And also, if I don't have highs, I don't have lows. I just try to stay in the middle.
And that's a great way to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a great race car driver. You don't want to be too excited in the cockpit because you make mistakes, and you're not that way out here. You do a great job. Pleasure talking to you. Super excellent meeting your dad again. He was awesome to talk to. He's so proud of you. I could tell you that when I was up there.
Thank you.
So congratulations and good luck the rest of the year. I told Coach I hope to catch up with you guys again as the season continues.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. That was awesome. Good job. Good job.